And we're live.
So before my first rehab, I had about 5 hospital stints. One of those was 9 days in the ICU having DTs. And I have a video on my channel about this.
I watched that video. It's scary.
You have like vivid hallucinations. Like I saw like, and it's like the deepest, darkest traumas in your life will manifest as hallucinations in front of you.
Wait, I don't like that.
Yeah.
Best
For a week.
I know.
For a week.
I was hoping you'd see dragons and butterflies. You're telling me it's your worst nightmares.
I was watching the video on your channel of it because I was curious a couple weeks ago when you were going to come on, and it's just you sitting in a hospital bed, and it's just showing the camera pointed at the corner of a room, and you're like, do you see him? It's just there's a man hanging there.
Oh shit!
Right there, and it's like, and you're clearly out of it, hallucinating.
Yeah.
And then you like turn it to yourself, and you like you can tell that you think what you're saying is making sense,
Right, but it's making zero sense.
It's erratic and like.
And
I don't know, that's scary.
The craziest part about that is like, so I still remember all of that. Like it's not like I was in a blackout for 9 days. Like I remember almost all of that, and like they would come in and like load me up on benzos, but it didn't. When I was conscious, like I was making memories, so it was crazy.
I don't think I know benzos. They get you high.
Benzodiazepines.
Yeah, they're very.
That's what
it's Xanax.
Peterson take.
Yeah, they're strong pills. They're mostly like muscle relaxers, but they're also anti-seizure drugs. So like if you're an alcoholic who's getting off a huge amount of vodka, like Josh was, you're in danger of seizures, and so they'll give you benzos to like.
Are they a good time?
People get really addicted to them. Like
Yeah,
really,
I hated them.
You hate it.
I've always so like I use Xanax to fly because I have anxiety, but like it's never been a drug that I've been like, ooh, let's go take a Xanax.
To me, it's not even that powerful. Like whenever I was so disappointed when I was getting that cancer surgery on my eyelid. I think the first one, like when they were just gonna like shave the the tumor off my eyelid before they knew it was a tumor. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna give you a Xanax. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? You better give me a bottle of fucking Xanax and then gas me. They're like, no, we're going to give you one Xanax and then we're going to inject a local into your eye. And I'm just
God.
Like, no, we don't have any Xanax, but we're going to give you 5 shots tequila and we have this hot tub.
Right.
I feel like you guys don't have fentanyl
It'll
back
feel like anesthesia. like you ever wondered what anesthesia feels like? Well, this is kind of like that. It's 5 shots of tequila in a hot tub. No, I want actual anesthetic. Well, we don't know about that. It's not like you're going in for surgery. You're cutting it off my eye. No, they gave me that fucking Xanax, and they were like, now be careful with these. You don't want to get. And they gave me this fucking Xanax, and I took it, and I was just like, I felt.
They gave you one?
They gave me one. They gave me
so
one.
Like you could enjoy your ride home?
No, like they gave it to me like an hour before. Like I'm sitting in the pre-op bed with the IV in my arm and like all the like heart sensor things, the blood oxygen shit. I'm hooked up to the machines, and pre-op, and they give me that fucking Xanax and they put some numbing eye drops in my fucking eye, and that was it.
How much did it hurt, Kyle? Did it hurt a lot?
It was so goddamn painful.
Was it really?
Like
I thought
my
the
toes
local
were
would work.
curling. Oh, the local is what hurt. The local is what hurt. Them like
it's a big
I got
needle,
no problem with needles. Like no problem at all. They don't bother me a bit. But they used a pretty big needle and they stuck it in my eye and in my eyelid. And like they had to do it 3, maybe 4 times. And every time they go in, he goes, little pinch here. And it felt like someone was hammering a fucking 10-penny nail into my goddamn eyelid. But you don't want to move. Because obviously they're sticking a needle in your eye.
Don't say you're going to have a lot more problems than this cancer.
Yeah. So like I just remember vividly my toes in my like shoes curling up. Like me just like squeezing with my toes and squeezing like with my fists and just going, and they're going, yeah, I know it hurts. I'm sorry. One more. Here we go. It's all right. One more. I'm like, you just said one more. Well, I meant 3 more. Here we go.
I've had a similar experience, but it wasn't my eye. I've had it in my leg and maybe an arm or something. But basically, picture a big cut, right? So you go into the hospital to get stitches because you've got your cut's whatever, 3/4 of an inch wide.
Yeah.
So they inject painkiller into my open wound. so that they can like do internal stitches and then external stitches.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, they didn't tell me a little pinch. They're like, now this painkiller, it burns. And it's like, you're injecting pain that burns into an open wound. I don't know that this is even lightening my pain. I'm just investing in pain. Like I'm doing it now so that later I have less. And in the end, I like to think my total pain was the same. I could have had stitches with no painkiller.
They can be assholes or they can be really chill about it. What I've always appreciated when getting like, I don't know if I've had a cut that big, but I've had a lot of like 4 to 6 stitch cuts. And they'll take is it lidocaine? I think it's lidocaine.
It might be.
Local numbing.
And they'll squirt it into the wound first. They'll just squirt lidocaine onto the open wound and wait 30 seconds.
You can do that?
Then they've done that for me before. And then they'll inject it into like...
Dude, I had 45 stitches and they got like an intern to do it. They were all incredibly loose. They didn't actually pull the wound together. After it was done, it looked like the same wound, but Frankenstein.
Like
yeah, my doctor, like back when I got home, it happened in West Virginia, I think. When I got home, he's like, "Oh, let's see how they do it in West Virginia," and he's like, well, I'd have made them tighter. They didn't do anything. They were the worst stitches. And my leg, even now, like 30 years later, has these big like divots missing out the side of it.
Yeah, it's like you told them like, well, not too tight. I want to look tough. I want people to know I fucked my leg up.
Oh, and then the painkiller wore off during the stitches. Like the last 5 or so were just Rambo style. Where you grit your teeth.
Not paying enough for this with our health insurance.
Yeah, and like it was. I'm sorry, I'm taking the topic off of Josh, but all the nurses in the room and shit were like, "This guy's awful." Like it was taking so long, they were so loose, and I'm like, "Argh!" And all the nurses are like, "Are you seeing this? Like, are you seeing this? Like, this isn't even Western medicine anymore."
Yeah, this isn't.
I always give the nurses and doctors like a pep talk. Like I want them to feel like I imagine that if I was doing something that I'm pretty good at, that if the people I was working with were like pumping me up, I'd try to excel and meet their expectations. So I'm just like, "Oh, you're a professional, huh? Damn, you're doing a good job. Woo, you've done this before, haven't you?" The whole time it's just compliments, and because I want them to be like, "Man, he thinks a lot of me. I better really do my best work here." Like if I was doing a little carpentry, if I was like nailing somebody's deck down or something like that, they're like, "Wow, Kyle, how many years did you study?" I'd be like, "He thinks a lot of me. I better get these edges just right with the skill saw." Like, does this have the laser setting? Yeah, it does. Yeah, we're gonna do a good job here.
Pre-surgery, I set him up for success. I tell him all the things I write him a letter. And I'm like, "Hey, to the anesthesiologist." I'm one of those guys that comes out of general anesthesia super nauseous, and like a lot of people do, but I'm like a top 1%er. It's a guarantee. So hey, you know what? Before I even get up, give me some of that good shit, right? Whatever it is. And the anesthesiologist is never like, "Ooh, he's just trying to get extra nausea drugs out of me." That's not what happened. They're just like, "Oh, good to know. Yeah, that way now we won't have a diving save in the recovery room from a guy who's vomiting all over the place." And if it's like last surgery, I was having my leg operated on, I think, and I marked it. This is the leg. This is the one. Like it. X and a yes or so. Like there was no chance that they go into the wrong knee. I set them up.
I think I had my knee surgery doctor actually came in and like verified and marked and then signed the knee.
Yeah, they did that for me. It turns out that maybe that was unnecessary, but it was already, I was pre-marked from home. They're like, "Oh, I see. This is
If I could get one prescription drug and just have it on hand, it would be that anti-nausea medication, because it's so incredibly, because every now and then, you'll just like, you'll get sick, whether it's food poisoning or whatever. And I realize maybe it wouldn't be good for food poisoning, because I think you do need to like vomit all that up to like be safe. But like sometimes you're just sick, you're just sick, and like the vomiting isn't helping you. It's just a symptom. And I would love to have a little vial of that fucking anti-nausea stuff and just I guess it's not intermuscular, it'd be intravenous, but I'll stick it in my vein. Like there's sometimes where I'm so sick and I've been so sick that I'm just like, fucking, let's go.
It can be intravenous, like you said, but you ever have a Listerine strip, where you put it on your tongue and it dissolves into good breath? Like
sublingual.
They have that in anti-nausea.
Give me the bottle.
They give it to kids a lot. Yeah. Like with the kids that won't take medicine, that won't take a pill, that maybe you don't want to stick. You know, they can just ninja that shit on their tongue, and then like against their will, they've taken this drug and now they feel better, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Ha! Fooled you, moron. Now you're not gonna vomit.
Yeah. Like the kid's
Now
so
you feel
sick,
better.
they can barely.
I wouldn't care if
swallow
it was suppositories. Just give me that anti-nausea
Yeah,
shit.
honestly, like it's easy to talk about because like you usually go a long time between vomits unless you just have like a huge problem with the stomach flu, which poor you if you do. But like you always forget about how bad the stomach flu is, and then you'll like get one of those gut flus like once in a blue moon, like many years in between. You're like, oh, what does being healthy feel like? Vomiting. You're like trying to be healthy and like, all right, I just need to drink a ton of Gatorade, and then like you get a bunch down, and it's like, oh. Got to go buy more Gatorade because this is coming up right now.
Beads of sweat on your forehead, kind of have to throw up, but you're not throwing up as you hold the toilet, and you're like, I forgot how horrible this is. This is
you try and go to bed, and it's like, I'm so cold, but I'm so hot.
Yeah.
Sweat.
I will
like-
say this: I'm one of those people that like if I feel like I might need to throw up, I'm like, no, we are going to throw up. Like
Right.
I go
force
do it because there's a chance that immediately we're gonna feel 100% better.
There is.
And like be on the other side of this thing if we just vomit right now.
Yeah, some people are like so anti-vomiting that it's like, oh, I think I ate something rough. I feel terrible. It's like that might be your body telling you to get it out before any more of this
Right,
process.
listen.
It's like, no, I don't want to. I'm gonna defy my body. It's like, okay, well then enjoy the next 7 hours of just increasingly worse and worse. You could have had half the total diarrhea you're now gonna have. If you just
Right.
were,
They're like, no, I'm just gonna half the bottle of Tums and fucking fight
So
through
I
it.
wanted to bounce back to something with Josh. So like the hallucinations with alcohol, that's not something you hear about a lot. Like that's only when you were getting off of it in rehab. That wouldn't happen when you were actively drinking, right? Or would it? Like would you
So-
wake up at 3 a.m, like before you took your shots, and you would be hallucinating?
Yeah, so like that's a part of withdrawals. It was nowhere near like it was like shadow people. Like I'd see like a shadow that wouldn't be there. Whereas like
nightmarish.
yeah, in the hospital it was like hallucinogenics, but like the worst trip possible.
It's just no fun.
Yeah.
What were some of the scariest things you've seen, whether either at the hospital or at home?
I mean, one of the ones that I always go back to, it was not even scary, it was just weird. Like the one you said, the hanging dude in the corner, that was pretty scary. I saw a girl running from her boyfriend who was like trying to fucking like hold her back, and she jumped through a panel in the ceiling and like crawled in because it was like a like paneled like stucco ceiling. So like she crawled through, and then I was like screaming at nurses. And nurses come running in. They're like, nothing's happening. Probably gave me some more fucking benzos. But there was this pillow. So they have anti-seizure pillow, like things that line the entire side of your hospital bed. And I was laying there looking at the pillow. And every time I would blink, something else would be in the pillow. So like I'd blink and it would be like an aquarium. And then I'd blink and it'd be like snakes. I'd blink, it'd be a dead body. I'd blink, it'd be butterflies. So like it'd literally go from like
Stop blinking.
great to awful. Yeah, 100%.
I'm staying on
I would
butterflies.
get to a point I was like aquarium, stop. But then I blink and I'm like, oh fuck, okay, now I'm onto the worst thing. So like it was just my mind playing crazy tricks and
It's
like
anti-seizure pillow. Like I'm picturing like a, I don't know, like you're in a tub almost of pillow. That's not it.
so think of like a body pillow, but made of like plastic that people could probably vomit on and you could easily clean. So like
How does
medical
it help
plastic.
you with a seizure?
Keep
Like,
So-
rolling out of bed, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say if I was having a seizure and thrashing, I wouldn't be hitting my head or my arms or anything on the bars or rolling out of bed.
so it's
So
not.
it keeps you in the bed.
Did you ever-
You're in like a cradle almost.
Yeah. Do you know what a baby changing table is like? It's kind of a little
It's
U-shaped thing.
Very
Yeah.
very similar.
When
Okay.
you're seizing, are you fully aware of what's going on in conscious?
No. So well, minor seizures, yes. Like
Yeah.
so the ones I had in rehab, 100%. Like the last couple, I was like very aware, but grand malls, entire blackout. So
I've only had one seizure. I fell off of an ATV onto asphalt and hit my head
Oof.
really hard. And there's no way to know if I was laying there for 1 second or 10 minutes before I came to.
Oh my gosh.
But when I did come to, I was in a full seizure, like all four limbs, like going, my head go, and I knew what was happening because I'd seen a seizure before. And I just remember thinking, hope this ends soon. I'm rubbing my face on asphalt. Hope this ends soon. I'm rubbing my face on asphalt. My face was already fucked up from like the accident. It took all the skin off here and all the skin off. Like the way like your ocular bone like makes that curve here.
Yeah.
You know, it's more bony. Like it took all that skin off in like a C. And then all the skin on part of like where my mustache should grow was
You didn't have a
gone,
full face helmet?
I was in my underwear.
Okay.
I was wearing a pair of boxers and nothing else.
How old were you?
All right.
13, 14.
Checks out.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't wear helmets all the time on ATVs.
Interestingly enough, I had a teeth whitening strip in, which is probably all that saved my teeth. Like I was
remove this after 10 minutes. Oh,
I was literally whitening my teeth before I was going to go out on this little like kid date. And I was like, oh, I'll go for a little ride on the four-wheeler while this does its thing for 15 minutes. And like a wasp, because I'm in my underwear, like a pair of boxers, a wasp landed on my inner thigh. And in my head, I'm like, he's going to get my dick. And I like swerved and just came completely off the thing, like onto asphalt going 25, 35, somewhere in the middle of that, I would say, like not wide open or anything, but fast.
That's quick. That's very quick.
Yeah, quad. And when I woke up,
than they look.
They are on asphalt, especially on dirt. It would have slid, but on asphalt, it just bit down and tipped. And I hit one elbow and one knee. I don't remember which, but both of them had so much nerve impact that they were paralyzed for a short period of time. So when the seizure did stop, let's just say it was the opposite. So like right arm doesn't work, left leg doesn't work. It could have been the inverse, but in any case, I've got one leg and one arm, and I've got to like crawl to the ATV and tip it back over to get home because I need to go to the ER. I'm fucked up. So that was a fun day.
Now it doesn't matter how white your teeth are. You're missing an eyebrow, and you're not going to get any middle school pussy.
I was so gross for like 2 weeks. You said kid date.
Was the other person a girl, or was it like a play date with a guy friend?
It was like I was going over to a guy's house, and there were going to be 2 girls coming over to hang out with us.
Got it.
Yeah. They were all going to masturbate.
You fucked up that situation.
I did. I probably would have gotten to like grab some boobies or something.
Very nice.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, the one thing about seizures, like, so the one I had in rehab, I was in the bathroom and I was trying to turn the light on, and like super fucked up on benzos. So like I'm just crawling along a wall. I find the light switch, turn it on, seize. I wake up on the ground in some random dude's arm who apparently heard me smack my head against the door and then fall like onto the concrete. My lips are blue, so like he thinks I'm fucking dying. They immediately call the ER. The ambulance is there in like 2 minutes or so. And because they were there so quick, like they were able to quickly kind of like resuscitate me. But like it's a straight blackout. You wake up and you're like, oh fuck, like I'm on the ground and I can't really feel most of my limbs. I used the walker for like I want to say 7 days after that.
Wow.
Because like your legs, your arms, everything is just so weakened. And they even had to cut because I had to have a CT head scan after that. And they cut the nose ring out of my nose using like metal clippers in the hospital.
Weakened? I don't think I missed something. A seizure weakens your arms and legs?
A grand mal. So because I had seizure after seizure after seizure after seizure, I was just like my body was completely weakened. I couldn't walk like even a step.
Hey, Woody, could seizures be like those electrode things that people put on their abs to like fake exercise?
I had a similar thought. I was like, does this count as cardio?
Yes, it does.
Right? Like
you said that might be
2
what it is.
seizures a
like,
day and you're ripped, buddy.
Dude,
because your muscles are flexing.
I know a guy. All right, hold on. So my brother-in-law has a nephew. This guy, he has Tourette's syndrome, and it makes him go, he makes like a sound and a contraction, right? And he's like 7 years old, but he like all day long, there's kind of this like, He picks up his shirt, fucking jacked, just like 8-pack at 7 years old, because like all day long he's just like exercising because of his Tourette syndrome. Yeah,
dude. How do you induce seizures? Never mind.
No, you know what the best way to do it, Kyle, is? I'm going to put you on a strict half-gallon of vodka a day diet. You're going to maintain that for how long does it take, would you recommend, Josh?
At least 6 months.
We're going to say 6 months, half-gallon of vodka a day, and you're going to be
missed medication, lack of sleep, stress, alcohol, and menstruation are some of the most common triggers. Menstruation, easily done. You're going to start with menstruation, and we'll work backwards from there.
I don't see a flaw in this plan.
Intentionally becoming an alcoholic
for the abs.
Look at all the weight. I'm gonna be so jacked.
Only
and then you find out that your seizures are like you like stumbling uncontrollably to the fridge and eating instead of the ab guys.
That would suck.
Yeah, that would be awful. But man, I'm glad you're doing much better now, Josh. That is a harrowing and scary tale. Like you never hear about the hallucination aspect of it. And that